What is going on, guys? Your boy Guns here. Um, all right. So today's video is gonna be on my Kinnara Hosk build, and I know. So for a lot of you guys that follow my channel, I mean, I know a lot of you guys, probably a variety of people, right? But I want to say majority are mage mains, and I'll touch into the whole thing of the. I mean, you guys saw my recent video. Well, not recent, but one of my recent videos of how I feel about Arcane Torrent. As you can see here, right now I have Arcane Torrent activated, and I don't have long range warfare. I will talk about a little bit of like some methods into long range warfare, but the main thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is my Canara build. A few of you guys reached out to me, and I just gave you guys the build. I'm like, man, you guys are getting this build freaking early. 'Cause I was doing a lot of testing with it, right? And I'm not an archer main, but I do talk with a lot of archer mains, and I look at their builds and I see what they have, um, and uh, and then I like to think about my own play style and how I'm playing, and that definitely varied things a lot, right? So to start it off, right? And so in the beginning, my whole ideology with as you can see here, these are kind of the marches I was running, right? Uh, I am the Spring Warden faction at the time, but I usually am League of Order. I'm actually getting ready to switch to League of Order here, um, and for my next Roots of War. But anyways, so essentially, what I want with these Archer marches, I want them to be damn near in sync with my Mage marches, right? So if you see here, a lot of people have a lot of like archer builds for like, for example, their Syndreon Freygar or their Freygar Syndreon. Um, but for me, I want these marches to damn near be identical, right? You can see here, one of them's a little bit faster than the other. They're not in perfect synchronization, but for the most part, they're coming in first. So you can see here, the way I kind of have it set up is my Valen coming in first, right? My Valen, I mean, Valen is just a fast march, right? Uh, let me just go over what I have here. So I have Lilia Thea, right? Usually with Celestials, Bertrand, Tohar. I'm finding more success this way with the skills tree. I still gotta dabble into the magic tree as we did see like Subjugator does get activated through season talents, but as of right now I've been rocking the skills tree. Has been working great. Kinnara Hosk, Freygar Syndreon, and I'll go into why I have Freygar first, and then I have Valen and Endis as my debuffing march with the poison, right? So this is pretty much what I was running. So as you can see here. Um, they're pretty much in sync, right? And this is important. And a lot of the builds that were getting sent to me, they were pretty slow. They were pretty slow like archer builds. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure they're great, and I'm sure that that they got some good merit reports and whatnot. But like I said, it's important, guys, very important that regardless of which content creator you guys watch, you think about your own playstyle also, right? So I have a really ratty playstyle. I like to hit and move a lot, hit and move, hit and move, hit and move. A lot of the times, I'm one of the last players alive because I play that ratty. And in the game in the game state how it is right now, it's a lot of kiting, right? A lot of poking going on. And if your marches are not up to par, then they're not gonna do good. So normally I would run Hawk's primary, right? But Hawk lacks a lot of speed in his build. Um, or normally I will run Syndra primary, but he doesn't have that much speed either. So going into it, let me show you guys my Canara build, right? You guys are like blah blah. You guys are probably like blah 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 blah. Shows the Canara build, right? So there's some variations to this that you guys can work with, right? But essentially, if you can see here, I went into the tree, tongue twister, into the three trees, um, because I was able to get some speed here, right? And if you wanted like some more punch, obviously there's other builds that people like to do. But I went with this one specifically to get the most speed possible out of all the trees available, right? Granted, I sacrificed some speed here, right? I'm like, okay, when I did the overall speed here, it was like a little bit too fast, but it could be argued that you want your Canara in first because they have that counterattack damage, right? Because a lot of people are playing on dot mode or pixel mode, right? So they're kind of just clicking whatever march is in the front. So if you're able to make it to where either your debuffing march or your archer march is coming in first, that usually works out really well. Um, but I was finding I'm like, you know what? I just want my Canara to just deal a little bit more damage. So like she's keeping up with my mage line with this build, right? You can see I went attack, speed, obviously the overall health. You got backstabber here. Um, so, oh yeah. So one of the things, and anyways, going into the marksman, have attack. I went more speed here. This is the biggest one right here. You want to have this one 100%, right? If you're like, I don't know, guns, I probably want a little bit more umph in my march than that. Make sure you at least get the 15% one, right? Because if you notice here, this one only gives you up to like 10, I think. It goes by twos, right? And this one puts you up to 15, right? So you can sacrifice the speed here, go full attack here, right? But you want to make sure you get this one. I went with I have hero skill damage on this one because I mean it's doing great. I mean I didn't see you could I guess you could do taking less damage, but no, I want Canara skill damage to hit. It actually hits pretty damn hard, you know. I went with shadow or shower of blows here. When casting rage skills, there's a 50% chance your next rage skill will deal 8% more damage. I think I messed this one up. I probably got to switch this to bullseye, right? Cause since I have Hosk, right? So the next rage skill is probably Hosk or whatever, so it doesn't really apply. So make sure you switch it over here to bullseye. When your legion consists entirely of marksman units, again a 5 stack attack increase. So go bullseye, I would say instead there, right? Go bullseye, and then you come up. Like I said, guys, a lot of this stuff is just I do a lot of testing, right? A lot of people kind of just like, oh, I'm sticking with this one because I saw it work for this person. That's fine, right? And at the end of the day, if you have a good hero and good gear, your talent skill it's not gonna like make or break, or your talent tree is not gonna make or break your march. It's gonna be better, yes, but to say like, oh, this is 1000% way better. There's so many different builds and a lot of them work. It just depends on how you like your march, right? So we went up here, attack, went full in the normal attack damage, a little bit of speed here, Fury Flame, and then I went with Army of Valor, increasing damage dealt every 1 second. Some people prefer going this one, right? So inflicting counterattack damage, which it depends on what you want to do here, right? Like I said, I'm just going through with like my mentality of why I pick certain things, right? Obviously, speed here, when control tree, do more counterattack damage there. Um, you could alternate that and go attack. Like I said, all of this is stuff is just testing, right? Normal attack damage there. So when casting rage skill inflicts slow on the target, I went with this one. That way, my other marches could get some hits on it as well. Um, so this is the build that I've gone with, guys. I even have one of my top merit reports was like I think in the 70s, but when I was fighting like mainly T5s, it was like 30s, 40s, and I'll show you guys in comparison how I was doing with my other marches. Um, so you have the Canara, right? And then when I would switch to Hosk, right? So it's like, okay, so when would you do Hosk primary? Because a lot of people are like, oh, no, you want to go Hosk primary every time, right? But that, if you want to do that, sure, there was a work. Yeah, it could, but for me, like I said, I want the Canara primaries for the speed build, right? To move around. Now, if we're in a flag to flag situation, excuse me, and they're starting to like flood our area here, right? Then I'll switch to my Hosk build with the full precision on it, right? There's a few variations you can go with here. I decided to go with a little bit of march speed here to kind of help it, but this is like a full counterattack build right here, right? This is the full counterattack build. You can even get rid of the overall and just go here, ignoring 0.4% of the enemy's defense. Um, yeah, you could dump it in there, right? But like I said, variations, right? Open field, very dynamic movements of the field. We're making a lot of movement. I like to have my Canara to have that speed, right? More of like you can say, for example, how a lot of people are stuck at choke points right now. Um, you can then switch to your Hosk, right? Because you're not dealing with as much speed related builds, you know? So let me show you guys in relation. So I'll go way back, way back, way back. I should have released this video a long time ago, guys. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm like, nah, I gotta continue doing more testing, more testing, more testing, right? But a lot of people have been asking for it, so I'm like, all right, let's release it. So I mean, you can see I have a lot of reports. I have a lot of reports, right? You can see here, in comparison. Oh yeah, that's another video of my Lilia Tohar. But anyways, you can see here Lilia Hosk. It's doing well, guys, especially for us main mages, right? Canara is in the first season, and you can awaken Hosk already, especially if if you're investing into Hosk, and it's an amazing March, right? Um, Once again here compared to Lilia Valen, look how it's doing. You know what I mean? And Lilia Valen is a top March. That is a top March out there. Um, Scrolling through here. Oh, this one, Lilia and Valen just went off. Probably like a huge choke point situation here. They're just doing crazy AoE. A lot of these are a little bit older, right? These are a little bit older, but you can just kind of see in comparison how they're doing, right? Right here, look at this, Kinnara Hosk. This is with the exact build I have, guys. And this is, versus the typical Lilia like skill tree that everyone has. Look how it's doing in comparison, right? You can see how it's doing in comparison, you know, like it does well. It does well, right? Like I said, people can try to, say, oh, this one, whatever, whatever. Like at the end of the day, whatever works for you, right? But for my style of play, which is very ratty, um, you can kind of poke back and forth. And I do have a screenshot. Uh, I do have a screenshot. One second. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me close the game out real quick. But yeah, guys, oh my god, I gotta clean up my freaking desktop, bro. Oh my god. Okay, right here. So you can see I have a 74K merit report here, and I've got some that are higher, right? I've gotten some that are higher. I just didn't save them. You know what I mean? I didn't save them, but that's what I have for my Canara, right? My Kinnara Hosk build in there. And I'll load this back up. I'll even throw in a little bit extra for you guys. So, like I said, with the build, the Canara House build that I have, it's focused more on speed and being able to keep up with the mages. Why is that important? Because you guys know, right? Out in the field, it's very fluid, very dynamic, right? So you want your Canara and that's why I went with Freygar because I have a speed build on her, and I'll display that a little bit and I'll kind of show it off. Um, Probably be. I'll just make it all in the same video since I'm pretty much talking about the same stuff. Um, Same thing for her, guys. I think this March or on the mobility tree, the preemptive preparations, right? That's why I'm excited even for the new archers that are coming with long range warfare. I'll probably still run something similar. But anyways, you can see here when your legion enters battle, their attack is increased by 10%. This bonus is reduced by every 0.5% every second. This is super important, especially because you're already taking a hit for the 15% base damage, right? With long range warfare. So we're doing a lot of poking, right? A lot of poking and fighting, poke, poke, hit, poke, hit, poke, hit. So every time you come out of battle and back into battle, you get the preemptive preparations. Now, if you're fully engaged, right, and then you back off a little bit and then you immediately come back, then it's still going to be, reducing you every second. So make sure that whenever you poke and you come back, like you fully come out of combat, right, it shows your little battle report in the bottom, and then you can go into it again and get that 10% again. Um, I'd have to go into, I mean, I'd have to check every single report to see how often it gets activated, but based off my understanding, going in and out of battle has to do with, when it says like battle report, right? Because sometimes you have multiple because you're just fully engaged or you got swarmed. But same thing with this build, guys. It's built to keep up with the mage line. Now, you can see here, I'll kind of just leave it up in the screen. Um, you got the shower of blows, or it's one of the archer mains. In the comment section below, let me know what you think about shower of blows versus the bullseye. Like when do you want to have one or the other, right? Because I still think the move is probably bullseye. Like I said, I wanted to make sure I tested everything, and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we need to get bullseye here. Um get those 5 stacks, right? Um, Unless you have two like hero skill damaging marksmen, right? Who knows what we're gonna have in the future? But yeah, you guys can see here a lot of speed, right? That 15% speed, normal attack. I even went up into the peacekeeping to get more attack. Because if when I look at all these other ones, I'm like, I don't really see myself using any of these other ones, right? I mean, if you guys look at my Freygar, she's level 58, right? So you'd wonder like, okay, where would those other two go into? And I'd probably just go back into speed, right? I'll probably go into speed, either speed um or maybe head held high, right? Uh so that's kind of what I had, guys, and that's what I'm saying. The whole point of these builds are to keep up with the mage line, right? And I showed you guys like the merit reports to prove it. Um I'll put a little bit of footage right here. You can kind of see me in action a little bit. Um Forward it a little bit. Let's make sure our Canara gets there. Okay, so our Canara's here. So you can kind of see how I'm playing. Like right now, I'm not playing on. Let me turn my camera off. Okay, no, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. I even. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know what that was. Oh, that's even weirder. Okay, we'll just leave it like this. So you can kind of see how I'm playing. Like right now, like this is a little bit of the smaller scale battle, but you can kind of see like how good that Canara stays in synchronization with the other marches, and um, you can kind of see the synchronization there. I'm just playing really ratty, just picking off these players that are just, they're not playing very smart, right? So I'm gonna push up here, boom. Like you can see that. Obviously, my Thea build is crazy. I see they're coming up. I'm backing up already, right? I have the speed that allows me to be able to maneuver. If you don't have enough speed in your march, guys, you will get caught out. You will get caught out, especially when your line is starting to dwindle down. You're gonna end up getting caught out, and you're just gonna die. Right? So my ideology with March speed, guys, right? Because before I was big on like, whatever, I don't care about March speed. My positioning's always, very good. I don't really have to. I'm never really caught out of position, right? But one of the ways that I'm looking at it now is, okay, if I'm faster, right? To a certain extent, right? You don't want to be the slowest, right? You kind of want to be around the middle. You don't want to sacrifice too much damage for everything's speed, right? But similar to everyone's getting chased by a lion, right? You don't want to be the last guy getting tagged up or the last few guys getting tagged up because that's how you end up getting eaten alive, right? By all the cav mains eating good. I mean, some cav mains just go straight for me, the perks of being a content creator, they just go for you a lot of the times. But like I said, like I like displaying this in the background for you guys so you guys can kind of see like how I'm playing, right? How I'm playing and how that Kinnara Hosk, like why is it doing so well? You know? Why is it doing so well? Like I'm just picking off these marches one by one. For I mean, I guess this is a whole another topic, right? But these guys coming in one by one like this is the worst thing you can do, man. And an R4 needs to set a marker and be like, everyone slow the freak down and freaking um ball up, and then we'll push up again. You know what I'm saying? But if they want to hand out free merits, I'm not complaining either. You can see right there my by my positioning, three people pushed up. All right, cool, whatever, right? I'm just gonna back up still. I never underestimate even like a few marches, right? Even though I have really good marches, I can sit there and tank a lot of these guys. These guys were mainly a lot of these guys were T4. So I'm like, I could sit here and tank a lot of this, but you got to play smart, guys. You got to play smart. And you guys see like the difference within players from the Krakens down, you know what I mean? Very few players can play super meatheady like that anymore because players are getting a lot stronger. A lot of low to mid spends are T5s now, so you can't really like tank it like that anymore. Um, so yeah, so same thing, kind of bouncing back to my Freygar, right? Same thing with the Freygar. I don't have it on this one, but if it gets down to a situation where I want more punch, then I'll switch to that Syndreon, right? And you could 100% run your Syndreon too. The way a lot of guys have like a slower Syndreon, and it takes him a little bit to catch up, which is fine for a lot of people. But for me, like I said, I want them to be damn near perfectly in sync. Um, I'm excited for next season, man. I'm excited for next season. Like this long range warfare stuff really changed the game, guys. Really changed the game drastically. Um, you can kind of forward this. We're just freaking going ham on these guys. Oh yeah, we freaking. I think that was a report. I think that was a report where I ended up um where's it skipping by? But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I know some of you guys haven't even got to the time where like you could do season talents, right? So let me start touching on that a little bit. So when it comes to um long range warfare, right? You guys have heard me talk about it in my previous videos, and I do think, right, in the beginning, one of the strategies that I'm probably going to do next season, in the beginning, when I'm very healthy and got a lot of elixir, I'll probably keep the long range warfare, right? I'll probably keep the long range warfare. There we go. There's the reports. I'll probably keep the long range warfare, and then once I'm starting to run super low on troops, and then whoever like whatever two of my two top marches are right now, which right now is Lilia Thea, with Celestials, and then Bert Tohar. It's my two, right? So at that point, when I'm starting to hurt for numbers, I'm just gonna switch back to Arcane Torrent to get that 10% hero skill damage. So that's kind of the strategy that I'm going with for next season. Um, yeah, that's kind of the strategy I'm going in for next season. I'll just have the long range warfare in the beginning. And then towards the end, if I start hurting, switch over to Arcane Torrent. I don't know. That's what I'm saying out loud right now. Maybe I change and I decide to go full on Arcane Torrent. But like I said, I'm excited for the new archers coming, guys. I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna have them. I'm not gonna have them. It's not gonna be like my Bert Tohar, which I already have awakened. It took me less than the full season to awaken both of them because I mean I had like 600 tokens saved up just for Tohar, right? And then Bert, it was just through the I spinned every wheel up to the 100, and then dailies, right? And got them done pretty fast. Um, so for the new heroes, I'm just gonna work on those guys passively, because I do foresee myself having them in my lineup. With it, I mean, I don't think long range warfare is going anywhere, guys. Because if they got rid of long range warfare, all the archer mains would be pissed, right? And at the end of the day, the community is what keeps the game alive, and a lot of people are upset if they take that away. Then yeah, it'll be like, oh, my bad, we'll bring it back. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you found it freaking useful. Um, and like I said, I mean, I have the reports to prove that what I'm using is working. Um, just remember, what I talked about in the talent tree, right? Instead of shower of blows, you can go with bullseye, right? Because you're not dealing rage skill damage with a lot of these heroes. Um, or any of the archer mains in the comment section below, you can kind of talk about what you think is the biggest difference of shower of blows, right? Do you think, because if you look at it, right, it does show that it does show skill damage, right? Skill damage factor here, right? And if you see Syndreon, it does show, rage cost, rage skill, right? Does it mean like you're adding a percentage to this? I don't know, right? But like I said, those are the builds that I have, guys. I explained to you guys, when I run a speed build, when I'll switch to a Hoss primary or a Syndreon primary. Um, Syndreon primary and Hoss primary all the time work as well. Like I said, it really depends on your play style and how you're playing. Um, so yeah, guys. We're kind of in a spot right now where it's it's a little boring. There's not much going on. Just onesies and twosies come out and I'll pour it in and send out my flying chickens and cavalry out to get them, and that's about how it goes. That's about how it goes right now. But we're towards the end of the season here. We're at 22 million merits, which is 2 million merits more than last season. Um, but yeah, guys, I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. I'll be trying to cover as much as I can for the new stuff. Uh, I'm always watching. I'm always in the discords. I'm always watching everyone's videos. Like, dude, I'm always there. I always have an ear, right? So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like. If you like the build, make sure you share it with your buddies. Um, and if you want to continue supporting the channel, make sure you drop a subscription, guys. Definitely helps out a lot. Um, and in the comments below, one last question I have for you guys in the comments. Which hero do you guys think is gonna be the better one? It's gonna be the main one to invest. I think it's gonna be, I think it's Zaya, right? Or Zeta or something like that. I think she's the flying one. For me, I'm personally gonna go for her first, right? Because I can awaken that a lot faster. But I mean, that's just, what is it? Uh, Zeta. Yeah. And I can also use her with my flying chickens if I decide to switch back to Spring Wardens, which I do a lot, guys, towards the end of the season. Winning or losing, I usually switch to Spring Warden, so it'd be cool to have her out there, if it is a flyer, right? So, on that note, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See ya.